Now, there are continued concerns among fans and officials about the immigration situation surrounding the World Cup. You see, a referee from Somalia who was denied entry arrived back home to this hero's welcome. Border officials say he was flagged for possible terrorist ties. FIFA's president says the situation was out of their control and he's not the first person affiliated with the tournament to be turned away. Joining us is CBS News immigration correspondent Camilo Montoya-Galvez to discuss this and more. Camilo, good morning.
Good morning.
What are we learning about this case with the referee? He had apparently applied for his visa.
That's right.
Still denied entry.
It is
Why?
truly a highly unusual situation. We heard from Customs and Border Protection, which of course oversees customs agents at international airports here in the U.S. The agency said that it denied entry to this referee last weekend in Miami because of, quote, vetting concerns. And yesterday we heard from a Trump administration official who put more details to that accusation, saying that the referee, Omar Arta, has some association with known terror groups. Now, the extent and nature of that alleged association is still unclear. And to be clear, the administration has not provided any direct proof or evidence to actually corroborate that alleged association, but that is now the allegation from the U.S. government, that this referee essentially posed a security threat to the U.S. And of course, his native country, Somalia, is one of 39 nations currently listed on President Trump's travel ban, which restricts or bans immigration and travel from certain countries on national security grounds. And this is not the first incident of the administration's crackdown on immigration essentially colliding with the World Cup. We have seen, for example, the Iranian team is having to train in Mexico instead of their original training camp in Arizona because some team support staff and officials were denied entry into the U.S.
And we're actually getting some new information on this. Moments ago, we heard from Homeland Security Secretary Markwayne Mullin. Let's just quickly listen to what he had to say in response to a question from CBS News' Nicole Skanger about this case.
We're not going to allow people that have criminal or maybe perceived to have criminal ties to come into this country. I don't care what your situation is. I'm not going to get into why we denied this individual, but there's a reason why this person was denied. Now, the left media wants to go out there and report and say this guy's a victim of because we're, anti-Somalia. No, we're not. We work closely with FIFA and the administration on a regular basis. We talk to FIFA and their directors constantly. Anybody that was denied, we made the case for and showed them why they were denied. Now, to get into the specifics of it, I'm not getting into the specifics of it. But Iran chose that was a difficult path. If there was any country we wasn't going to allow in here, Iran would probably be the reason why we wouldn't allow them in here. But we did, and we worked closely with the individuals with restrictions. And so there was multiple, more than just these two, there was multiple individuals throughout. We have a World Cup here. We got a lot of countries that doesn't exactly have access to the United States, and we did a phenomenal job on getting as many people cleared as we could, but some people just can't clear, and that's just the way it works with it.
And we should note the U.S. government cannot release publicly what they know privately.
If it's classified, correct.
What do you make of his response?
Well,
there?
I think it's important and incumbent upon the U.S. government to explain why the rationale behind denying entry to such a high-profile referee. Again, we're talking about one of only 52 referees selected by FIFA to officiate at this year's World Cup in the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. FIFA said it undertook a 3-year campaign to vet and comprehensively screen referees to, again, partake in this organization and tournament, and so it is incumbent, I think, upon the U.S. government to release more information. We should add that I just saw an announcement from UEFA, which is the governing body of soccer in Europe, and it says that Arta has actually now been selected to officiate the European Super Cup final between PSG in France and Aston Villa in England. So he's still getting high-profile gigs, if you will, in international soccer, but for now he's banned from entering the country.
But that raises a good point because FIFA has extensive experience in vetting hundreds of people for travel around the world for events like this. So the fact that this ref now will continue to have high-profile roles says something. But what about fans, spectators expecting to come to the U.S. and enjoy, the world's game? What concerns are they raising?
It's a good question. The Trump administration has said publicly that people from around the world are welcome to come here to watch the games and to participate in the World Cup, and that it is trying to expedite the visa processing of spectators and tourists from across the globe. But the reality is that the administration has imposed dozens of restrictions and visa pauses and bans on many countries around the globe. And in fact, several countries that have qualified, including Haiti, Iran, the Ivory Coast, and Senegal, have outright banned from entering the U.S. The citizens of those countries cannot enter the U.S. legally on national security grounds. So many fans won't be able to attend any of these games because their home countries face these categorical or partial bans because of the Trump administration's immigration crackdown.
It's like global celebration crossing with the Trump administration's very, intensive security efforts. Camilo, thank you so much. We'll talk about this much more.